What is up, my guy? Greetings and all that jazz. We in week 22, man. More this rain. It just started too. That's goofy. But anyway, we always start with, word of the day. Drop a little education on you. Grow your lexicon. That's your vocabulary, whatever. And Merriam-Webster's word of the day is foible. F-O-I-B-L-E, but sounded out like F-O-Y-B-U-L. And that is a flaw in someone's character. Flaw, shortcomings in someone's character. So you got somebody in your life that's flawed or got some BS about them, that would describe it. They are very foible. So do that information what you will. Working out, I just had to pull it up too, but if I'm not mistaken, we had 2 spins and 1 hike, walk, whatever, because again, I haven't a clue as to where my weight vest is, and that ticks me off because it's heavy. That's not something that you just lose. So I don't know where this thing disappeared to, but I did step in the name of love and get one of those in. Spin. Hold up, might have lied. Did I lie? No, I think I just had 3 spins. Okay, yeah, I was mixing up week 23. So I don't think I said that. We're on week 22, which I'm not an Emmitt Smith fan, so I don't want to say that. I'm trying to think of somebody else that wore 22. Nobody comes to mind. So whatever. If I ain't mistaken, I think Mr. Smith White, y'all wouldn't know him, but I think he might have wore 22. So I go with him before I go with Emmitt Smith. No hate on him, just not a running back that I'm a fan of. So that's that. Like I say, 3 spins, not the greatest, whatever. Ain't tripping off of it. This the new place. Which way did I come in here? Straight across. Okay, I remember. Ha! I'm smart. So we had 3 spins. That's that. I did get a bunch of protein or whatever from the spot that I was talking about, and I've been taking it nowhere near as consistent as I should. Now the ones that you drank, those I do take, but like I got like protein bars and snacks, and I don't know, I just don't be eating them as consistent as I want to. So I just, not even disciplined, just I have to get consistent with my regimen and routine to get the goals that I want, right? So whatever, that's that. Job, work, like I've been saying each week, it gets better each week. So like with where I'm at now, it doesn't feel shocking and overwhelming at all. It's like stuff could still take some time, and I'm like not 100% sure where to find everything, but like I'm getting, depending on how focused I am, like 2-3 cases a day done, which is, like I say, way better because it's 1 every 3 days. So that's making me feel a lot better about myself. So that's just that. Not really a bunch of trainings going on. Just get your case load done, and as long as I complete those in a timely fashion, we should be good and all right. So I'm gonna keep grinding and doing it, and like I say, I think we'll be okay. As long as now getting to the point where it's 5 of them, I'm gonna have to learn how to move a lot faster to get 5 done. I don't feel like it's an impossibility, Lauryn Hill, but still at this point with the skills and speed I have, that seems like a tall order, but nothing we can't handle. So we getting there. Anything else will work? No, like I say, just work from home a couple days, go there a couple days. So I ain't gonna be the quickest ones I had yet. And what's funny? Every time I think I'm gonna be done in man, I don't think I got left with the jobs or whatever, and I only got like 3 minutes worth to say it. It ended up being 30 minutes. So whatever, we'll see how this play out. So jobs, I had 2 for week 22. One was a desk and a TV stand for a veteran. We appreciate your services, ma'am. Really cool person. Military or whatever, so from all over. But if I ain't mistaken, went to high school in the city I'm from. Went to college, I feel like Georgia, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Went to college in Georgia, moved back to where I'm from to be closer to sister, and now looking like sister may move because she's dating someone military. So that was fun and whatever. And like I said, just talking a lot. They had suffered an injury playing basketball. So I was like, yep, you got sauce, messed your whole knee up, ain't got no body handles or defense. And they were like, no, actually, it was from, hang on, trying to find this center place. Centerholic. Okay, that's not too far away. I feel like it was straight across, wasn't it? Hope not. But Yeah, they got injured at one of the parks or whatever, and they said that, was it knee? I might be wrong. It might have been Achilles. I think it was the Achilles. Yeah, it was the Achilles tendon. So I was like, oh, the Kobe. And I was like, how did that feel? Did you know immediately? And they're like, yeah, I didn't know immediately. I said, had to go outside. No, it's raining. Get out of here. It's like, I didn't know immediately, but I knew something was wrong. I was like, sheesh. And it's like, kind of like what they said. It felt like somebody kicked them or like, hey, what happened? Somebody hit me. And they're like, nope, just a pop. So in the healing process now, like I said, really good combo. I got a lot of insight on like military happenings and how things work or whatever, because you get a lot of, I consume a lot of social media and YouTube. You get a lot of their perspective, and if you consume a lot of social media, everyone has an opinion, because, you know, depending on which one you own, it asks like what's on your mind, what you thinking, what's your opinion on XYZ, and everyone shares it. So to get it from someone unbiased, it doesn't have to be polished, because we're not in a, you know, public setting or whatever, and you can get down and dirty, just the good, just the bad, just my experience, whatever. That was cool. And to hear the politics of it, it's like, yeah, no, that definitely wasn't the path for me. Salute all the soldiers and everyone that, you know, defended the country. Not, you know, but yeah, that wasn't for I. So really cool combo there. And interestingly enough, the second client I had was someone, they were from Haiti. They were from Haiti, living in Japan, again, military again, so that's how I ended up there. They were in, I feel like Georgia, Florida. They were in Florida for years. Migrated from Haiti to New York, lived in New York for years, then did the military thing, travel, been abroad, been back, settled in Florida, finished up in Florida before husband took last orders in Japan. So they're currently been in Japan for like a little less than a year, and all of their children live in the area that I'm leaving now, in the surrounding city or whatever. So had a bed, a box spring, and a dresser to put together or whatever. So I did that. Funny enough, the lady had the same name as my mom, so it was just like ironic or whatever. But it ended up being way more work than I thought. Now, I knew the dresser was gonna be, you know, what it was or whatever. The bed frame wasn't crazy, but it took a little more time than I wanted it to. And it was like getting everything downstairs, so we had to get, like, we were moving one bed, getting the mattress downstairs, getting this back upstairs, and it was just a lot. And I did not think this job was gonna take that long, but no complaints or whatever. So those were the two jobs, man. I didn't miss writing any down. Michael Jordan, the only 23. Yeah, a lot of what I'm remembering is in week 23. My youngest had an incident, man. It really disappointed me or whatever. I expect better out of him. So, unfortunately, summer's starting actually today, because we're in week 23. But of course, I can't speak on it. But he can't enjoy summer festivities because you're on punishment, sir. You know. So we really had to come down hard on him. You know, just letting him know, you know, that right there, that's not in our pedigree. You know, that's not in your bloodline. I'm not raising you to be that kind of man. You always ask, am I proud? I'm very disappointed. Like, I've never been this disappointed in you before. And he needed that tough love or whatever. And, you know, so I came down on him, and it takes a village. So everybody in my village, you know, came down on him. And not like bad talking, but more so, like I said, we expect better of you. Like, no, we hold you in, you know, high esteem, high regard, and you like that. The action that you took place in, that's not becoming of the young man that you want to be, and the person you want to be respected as, and I don't respect you for this. So, you know, tears were dropped by him or whatever, and we'll see. You know, I know, he got to just get better, because that, I can't accept that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going out in the world, and that's a reflection of me doing what you just did. Never. So that was that. Like I said, my oldest is here with me. He went with me to, which job was that? He went with me to a job, like I said, that's week 23 though, so I can't speak on the job, but like I said, he talking about grinding and getting it in, and he has a goal. I mean, I can say it don't matter. He said he wants to stack up $300 for the summer or whatever, and I'm like, again, at this rate and the way business is going, very achievable. Like, $300, honestly, son, at the rate and the way business has been going, you can make $300 before the month is over and still have a month and a half left. You can mess around and make $500-$600 depending on, you know, how this thing going. So he was like, oh man, that's right, you know, right where I want to be. And he's actually a third of the way to his goal already. And like I said, he just got here 2 weeks ago. So, you know, we're going to see how it play out though, man. But I'm actually leaving from the finish up quote unquote job, or part of a job from 23. So again, I can't speak on whatever. But I am finna go get me a Cinnabon or whatever. I gotta do better because this sweet tooth been whooping my butt. And I ain't been working out like that. Fortunately, as far as I know, last I checked, I ain't gained no weight like that. But again, I want to change. It's not the numbers, it's the contour of my body that I want to change, the makeup, and I want to dunk again before it's too late. So I gotta get my life in order. Depending on how this weekend goes, because I know that I was talking about doing like a cleaning out or whatever detox type situation to get my guts and all that together, and I haven't done it yet. So we'll see, you know, what happens with that or whatever. I'll get it done here. Like, that's what I was finna say. If I end up with a down day this weekend where I don't have anywhere to go, then I'm promising myself now I will, boom, let me go ahead and do that detox, clear my system out, lock in protein, creatine, fruits, veggies, liquid. I'm gonna try. I got an older cousin, like I think I spoken that, I don't know what week it was, but he lost, I think he said over 100 pounds in like 6 months. Like I said, very aggressive. I don't need but like 15, 20 at the most. I don't want to lose no more than 20 pounds. Where I've seen my body, where my body was previously at those weights, below 20 pounds lighter than what I am now, I don't desire to look like that. Nothing wrong with it. Like I was, but like my quote unquote grown man weight on me, as they say, and I don't feel like I would, you know, have the aesthetic size that I want at too much small, like 25, 30. Nah, I ain't trying to get 30 pounds smaller. That ain't where I'm trying to go. That's like high school weight, and a lot of people are trying to get back to that high. That is for you, and I wish that upon you. Nah, I'm like early college, maybe into college, all the way there or whatever. Like I said, the number could honestly stay the same. It's just like if I could get to beating this threshold that I haven't been past in a while, that would be cool, and that is like in that same range. So really planning on locking in, man, because I know, like I told myself, that before the summer's over, we definitely will hit the beach. I'm not sure if it'll be Florida or Virginia. I don't plan on going to a Carolina beach because, I mean, we can. Like, if I go there, I already go like for a day or so. But if we're talking about going to like staying for some days, I'd rather go somewhere else or whatever. So we're gonna see, man. I'm gonna figure it all out. But anything else that I'm thinking of for 22? 1, 2. Feeling like no. Nope, all those 23. So yeah, I think we finna MTV's The Cut and wrap this up. So that's 22, my boy. I love you. Be kind to yourself, of course. Ain't no more talk. Remember what you are putting in, and that all of our goals we are working towards will come overnight, plural, with an S on the end. It won't come overnight, even if we win the lottery. Just stay like that, man. Enjoy life. Keep grinding. Discipline, discipline, discipline is the word of the life. Not the day, not the week, not the year. That's the word for life. You have to get discipline in your life and commitment and dedication to these goals. Like, just talking about them weekly is one thing, but oh God, I forgot about that. The review for well, last week I had a whole bunch of cover or whatever. But it's, like I say, funny how it works, man. This time last year, week 22 last year, I was speaking a lot about, I had my first corporate job. I remember I had my first corporate job, and even with what I got paid for that, it was like, oh man, like that was big to me back then. And I think, like, just let me see, 22, what 2 jobs what I got paid for the 2 jobs I had week 22, and especially like 23 was a busy week. Do you hear me? But what I was, like getting paid back then, it was like, oh man, this man. And now it's like, man, that's a, like I said, I never want to, like I would say, not cocky or nothing like that. It's just like I say, more shock and awe and surprise for how fast things have grown and how fortunate I've been in such a short time with the business expanding and doing so much better. Like I say, this exceeded all expectations that I had. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think this was gonna go so well so quick, and I'm just forever grateful. But yeah, like I said, I had the corporate job last year, and even the corporate job I had just now was, like I say, I think my second biggest paying job that I've had. And that job was like almost 4 times what that one was. So like I say, for a year ago, oh man, I got this corporate job and it can turn into this and this, that, and the third. And yeah, technically, I had that perfume factory too or whatever. Even that one paid more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't blown away by that one, but it was like, man, like this is amazing. And let me see. Well, I can say that from week 22 as well. I remember I spoke about a client that I had in the neighboring state. I put together some dresses for him. He was the guy that I said was like, those dresses not gonna fit, in this SUV. And I'm like, whoa. And then I got in there and I was like, sir, these are gonna comfortably I only gotta play Tetris to put them in. Those just gonna go. The dresser, the chest of drawers, and both nightstands, and they went no problem. And so like I said, when I was like, his wife was like, how you doing today? And I was like, better now. I was worried because your husband said these wasn't gonna fit, but as you can see, they went in there no problem. Like his area expertise in supply chain, I do this. You got it, bro. You right. So the dresses I got from them, they had set in my garage. So I guess it may have been like a month, maybe a little bit over a month, 5-6 weeks or something. And I was actually out for a job for week 23. So I can't speak on what it was. But I was at that job and people have been reaching out, Facebook Marketplace, the Nextdoor or Neighborhood app, whichever app it is or whatever. Like there's those 2 places I had them posted. And, some people come check it out. Some people, it's not what I thought it was, or it's in different condition. I didn't say it was an excellent now. I said fair, but whatever. So some people didn't, some people didn't. And I was at the job that I was talking about, and they were like, hey, we're actually out picking up furniture right now. I had to post for what I had to post it for. But of course, you aim high. I'm pretty good at business, so I'm aim high on what I want. So if you negotiate, then I can get at least my bottom. So they're like, hey, we're out right now. Can you meet us? And it was like, dang, because this job that I'm, doing for week 23 is supposed to be this much. But then I won't speak on what happened with that job until week 23. So it's like, what can I do? What can I do? And I'm trying to, figure out, puzzle and piece how to do this thing or whatever. And he's like, well, can I do this? Whatever. And I'm trying to figure it all out. And like I say, my oldest is there. I think both of my brothers, one was at his girlfriend's house, and I think the other one might have been at work. So nobody was there but my bloods, my youngest and my oldest. And so I was like, man, you know what? They can handle that. So I was like, yeah, no, if you want and you cool with it, my, children are there and they can they open the garage, they can, handle it or whatever. So call my oldest, I'm like, hey, I need you to do me a favor, go clear a path for this stuff right here. Somebody gonna come and check it out. They may want it, whatever. So he's like, okay, don't wait, go do it. I'm going to do it now. So they get there, they check it out. The person reached back out like, hey, it's not in excellent condition. So do you mind going down to this? Funny you say that. That's even more than what I wanted for my bottom dollar. So yeah, we can do that. All right, sitting in now. They sent the payment. They took it. Cool. And they gave big kudos. Like, your sons did a great job helping us. Funny that they said that. So after the fact, right, I get home. And I guess, I don't know, it made me feel like I'm not hard on them, but my sons, they know me or whatever. Because I was like, yo, hey, kid, come here. Come, like, what happened with that stuff when I told you to put it out? He was like, face looking confused, like, what I'm in trouble for? I just helped. He was like, you said to put the stuff out. I helped him load it, that's it. And I'm like, that's all that happened. He was like, yeah, like, what's up? And I was like, nothing. And, they said that they helped or whatever. I didn't get the full scope or details, but he was like, yeah, we helped them. I helped them load it, and that was it. They said thank you, and they left. And I was like, that's it. He's like, yeah, like, what's wrong? Did I say something wrong? He's like, no, but your tone, it seemed like you upset or something. I was like, I ain't upset at all here. And I gave him some money. He was like, they said you did a good job. I was calling to tell you did a good job. But again, the fact that he could, read, like, they know my tone when I'm upset. So I was like, man, do I come off upset all the time? What's going on here? So I gave him his. And then my youngest, he wasn't there at the time. I think he was at school. So when I got to him, I called him, when he got in from school. Hey, boy, come here. He come like, what happened with that stuff that I told y'all to help out with? He was like, same, he looking confused, like, what am I in trouble for? He was like, nothing. We helped them load it, they got it, and they left. And I'm like, that's it. And he was like, yeah, like, same thing. Like, what's up? What you mad for? And I was like, I didn't say I was mad. I was like, okay. They told me, here go your portion. Thank you for helping, being a good example, whatever. So, somehow it came back up with my oldest. I don't remember what it was, but somehow at a later date, it came back up with my oldest, and I was like, yeah, they told me y'all did a good job, whatever, something about talking to his brother. He was like, what? He didn't help do nothing. He was over there messing with the weights. He didn't help, though. I did it by myself. And I'm like, oh, well, they didn't say that when I asked you. He was like, no, I said I helped. I didn't say we. And I'm like, all right, man, it's a couple dollars, whatever. It is what it is. And he's like, no, that man didn't help do nothing. So that was funny to me or whatever. But yeah, so like, even with that, you know, like I say, man, I'm just being blessed all the way around. And it's just like, man, I can't believe this. Like I say, I was super blown away just by making that amount of money last year, you know. And now that's like almost my minimum. Like, you know, even back then, this time of year last year, I would go an hour or so away to make that. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, nah, if I'm going an hour away, my minimum to go an hour away is now this. So, unless I'm just bored or it's like, you know, I got a friend or something that I can see while I'm up there or a family member or something. So, 2 birds with 1 stone. Then, you know, because I already want to go that way anyway, I can make some money, then go holler at somebody, whatever. But if it's just like, I am only coming up there to do that, and that's because gas about $17 a gallon right now. My tank holds 20 gallons, so that's $1,000. No, we're not doing it. I'm good. You got some more stuff you can add on to that? Cool. You got somebody else that needs something, and they can pay. Cool, but my new minimum, you know, like I said, it's nice to have grown and had that and be able to say that, because like I said, I'll take any little bit I could get. Like, there were times where I went for a job and it's like, even with gas being what, I don't feel like, hey, a little bit of help, and like I say, just more in need. You know, like I said, at that time this time last year I did have a job. I had started at the insurance company, but I wasn't making what I make now with work or with the business. So both have grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, I make solid money professionally, like 9 to 5 money. And then, like I say, with what my rate is now, people pay it, people don't. Versus, like I say, then, because of what my rate is and because of how I built my business up and because of, like, I think the last 2 jobs I've did, and I've made considerable money on those, weren't even from the app. One was from word of mouth from my partner. The other one was actually from that neighborhood app that I was talking about. The lady was interested in those same dressers, so I was like, yeah, you can check out the dress. She was like, yeah, because I'm in the middle of moving. Matter of fact, hey, I looked on there and I saw that you have a business putting stuff together. Do you help with moving too? And it was like, what you got? She told me, and I'm like, let me check it out. Look, yeah, what your budget is, you can't afford me and somebody else and for me to do disassembly and assembly. So if I'm gonna do it, I gotta do the whole thing. I do move by myself. Whew, I forgot how old I am, because she moved from the 1st floor to the 3rd. G-bus. So that means I have 3 couches. I don't care if it's part of week 23, whatever. 3 couches, 3 mattresses, box springs, up to the 3rd floor by myself. Sweating like a hog. You hear me? Good and tired, lightheaded. I ain't eat breakfast. It was a lot. But like I say, you know, like, this business comes from everywhere now. Like, just like I say, word of mouth, repeat clients. Hey, such and such told me about you. I saw you here. And it's just like, man, I was hoping to get, like I say, I'm going to count up again, especially if I had downtime this weekend. Because that too, I don't know if I said that last week, but I went, you know, Miss Maria, my business mentor and friend, I wouldn't rap with her. One of the things we were speaking about, like I said, I ain't sure if I said this in 21, so I'm going to cover it again. I feel like I didn't though. We were speaking about me making versus just saying stuff. Like, I know that I spoke about, you know, I'm in my late 30s. I didn't think I was going to be able to get, like, down payment for a home unless something drastically changed until my mid 40s. So at least like another 7, 8, 9 years, somewhere around there. And with my business doing so well now, especially with me still, you know, working professionally, but, you know, and still trying to see when the exit will be to jump head first with the business, it's like, well, what I make now, especially if I got a 9 to 5, the money I make from my business on the side, realistically, down payment for a home, I might be able to have, I say it by, you know, by 40, by 41. So, you know, in a couple years versus 7, 8, 9, whatever I thought before. And so when we were talking, like I said, I'm just throwing out maybes and hypotheticals and nothing concrete. And she was like, have you looked up homes? Have you saw what the down payment, you know, would be, how much you would need this, that, and I was like, no. She was like, I think you should. And I was like, you know what? That is solid. And even with that, I was like, you know, I want to save up this much before, or I was just saying the number. I like to have a year's worth of money saved before I jump out here. First of all, how much is a year's worth? And I was like, I ain't thought about, stop thinking about stuff. If you're just throwing out stuff and it's not concrete, it's not a plan. That's a wish or a dream or a hope. So that was my homework. I was like, I'm gonna sit and do that. So I was saying, like, especially if I do my little clean out and I gotta be at home anyway because I'm regulating myself or whatever, that would be a perfect time to sit and, all right, cool, boom, let's write this out. This is how much, these are how much homes, you know, that I'm looking at costs. This is how much a down payment would cost. Sit out and work out, because my bill book that I use, this is the last month for it anyway, so I got to come up with a new financial planner, bill book, and all that anyway. And that's perfect, because I need to sit down and do this, where it's like, okay, debt elimination. I had it wrote out this year in that plan, but I wasn't keeping up with it like that. Like, the only thing I've been keeping up with consistently is doing the business and working. That's it. And more so doing the business and the work. So it's like, find that balance and focus in the other areas that are important too. And the goal, not just, you know, the short-term goal of now, make every dollar that we can, but also planning the finances, planning what we're going to do with the money, planning, you know, how people say, what 5 years from now look like, what 10 years from now look like. What are the steps today I can take to ensure that the 5-year, 10-year, 20-year goals, you know, are, okay, I'm checking out this, I'm checking out this. So like I said, you know, when I first started keeping track of this, when I get to 2027 at the end of this year, whatever the goals were for 2026, I did X, Y, Z. So this is why I'm where I'm at when 2027 started. I said this was the goal by the end of 2027. I did or didn't do X, Y, Z each week, each day, each month, each quarter, every 6 months, or whatever. So this is why I am. I'm gonna say am. I ain't accepting ain't. This is why I am where I am, whether it's where I'm supposed to be, just short of because of some extenuating circumstances, or if I've exceeded expectations. I'm not surprised, because I kept a concrete plan, journal, and I stuck to the plan, step by step, brick by brick. Snowfall, never seen it, but whatever. I know that's part of it. So I'm excited, man, for the future. Like I say, just because of, it's just funny how everything is, you know, working out and things are being brought up to me, whether intentionally, unintentionally, consciously, or unconsciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, which you know what I'm trying to say. A lot of people read about it, whatever, but subconsciously or whatever, things are being brought into to help me get that focus, get that aim, get that sense of direction, get that goal. This is where we're going. This is what it takes to get to where we're going. Lock in, make sure you're doing what it takes so we can get there. So we're not surprised, like I say, whether we get there or whether we get there, because I know if we don't, you know. I'm just excited. I'm excited. I'm enjoying the present and excited for the future. Because like I say, the building blocks and the way that things are jumping, sometimes by leaps and bounds, sometimes little by little, to make the 5 and 10 year goals seem much more attainable in 6 months, a year, 2 years. Like, oh wait, there's nothing stopping me from making this happen, you know, significantly faster than even I expected. That's, whoa, the only thing that's gonna stop me, you know, knock on wood, I don't get sick, nothing crazy happen, everything stays the way it is with my health and my abilities. The only thing that can stop you then is you. Whew. And I ain't gonna stop myself. So I know that I had my little preamble to end this probably like 7-8 minutes ago, not longer than that. But like I say, this thing, I knew it was gonna stretch out 20-something minutes, because this is therapeutic for me, man. And I quote unquote not a therapist. I know a therapist that if I'm talking to somebody and I'm comfortable with them, it's therapeutic for me anyway, whether you consider it therapy or not. But one of the people I've been clients that I've been growing with actually is a therapist, so that's been kind of cool or whatever. And I'll get into that in week 23. Right now I'm finna go get into this Cinnaholic, not Cinnabon. Cinnaholic is better than Cinnabon. So if you like Cinnabon and it's a Cinnaholic near you, give it a try. I love you. I'm gonna rap with you later. We're gonna go eat a Cinnaholic. All right, my guy, later.